Think you know what it's like to be a child star? And think again. Join us as we dive into the most tragic stories of Hollywood's youngest talents from the 1970s. These real-life tales will leave you speechless and wanting more. Number 25, Gary Coleman.
Was Gary Coleman murdered? That's one of the stunning questions raised in a controversial...
What if I told you that the beloved Arnold Jackson faced a life far from glamorous? One of the top-paid child actors of the 1970s and 1980s, Gary Coleman became a household name with his iconic role on the TV show Different Strokes. His charm and talent earned him the #1 spot on VH1's 100 Greatest Kid Stars list. Coleman's career didn't stop there. He appeared in various series and even had some big screen roles. But behind the scenes, Coleman's life was a different story. Despite his early success, he struggled financially and battled significant health issues as he grew older. These challenges cast a long shadow over his once bright career. Tragically, on May the 28th, 2010, Gary Coleman passed away at just 42 years old, leaving fans in the world to mourn the loss of a truly talented star who never really fully escaped his difficulties. Number 24, Dana Plato.
Cat, Maggie?
There she is. Kimberly, sweetheart, we want to have a little...
Can you imagine a child star falling into such heartbreaking turmoil? Dana Plato's journey into the spotlight began at 11 years old in the television film Beyond the Bermuda Triangle in 1975. However, her true breakthrough came with the role of Kimberly Drummond on the hit sitcom Different Strokes from 1978 to 1986. Her charm and talent made her a beloved figure on TV, but when the series ended, Dana's life took a dark turn. Struggling to find acting work, Dana faced personal and legal troubles. In 1991, she was arrested for robbing a Las Vegas video store and was placed on probation. Just a year later, she faced arrest again for forging a Valium prescription. In the spring of 1999, Dana hoped to revive her career with an interview on The Howard Stern Show. But shortly after, while visiting her fiancé's parents in Oklahoma for Mother's Day, tragedy struck. On May the 8th, 1999, Dana Plato died from an overdose of a painkiller, Lortab. Initially believed to be accidental, a coroner's inquest later ruled her death a suicide due to the high amount of drugs in her system and her history of past suicide attempts. At just 34 years old, Dana Plato's life ended in tragedy, leaving behind a tale of potential loss to the shadows of personal demons. Number 23, David Cassidy. What happens when a teen heartthrob's life spirals into tragedy? Born on April the 12th, 1950, in Manhattan, David Cassidy was destined for the spotlight. Son of actor and singer Jack Cassidy and actress Evelyn Ward, David's early life was a whirlwind. After his parents divorced, his mother moved him to California, setting the stage for his future fame. At 18, David's career began to take off when he went to New York to perform in a play. But it was in 1970 that his life changed forever when he landed the role of Keith Partridge on The Partridge Family. The show catapulted him to stardom, and he quickly became a beloved teen idol. Despite his success, David's personal life was filled with turmoil. His father's tragic death in a fire in 1976 was a significant blow. His marriages to Kay Lenz and later horse trainer both ended in divorce. In 1990, he married Sue Schifrin and had 2 children, but even this relationship didn't last. David faced numerous challenges, including struggles with alcohol and bankruptcy. Despite these hardships, he continued to perform and even wrote a book about his years as Keith Partridge. Tragically, David Cassidy passed away on November the 21st, 2017 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at the age of 67 years old. Number 22, Mackenzie Phillips.
I don't regret speaking out about incest because there are so many people who feel that they don't.
Imagine skyrocketing to fame only to face a devastating downfall. Mackenzie Phillips, known for her role in the 1973 hit movie American Graffiti, experienced just that. Her life changed dramatically in 1975 when she landed a role in the sitcom One Day at a Time. The show's instant success turned her into a household name, but her personal life began to unravel. Everything seemed perfect until the third season, when Mackenzie was arrested for cocaine possession. She tried to cover up the incident, but her behavior became increasingly erratic. By the 1979-1980 season, she was showing up late to rehearsals and appeared incoherent on set. Producers gave her a 6-week leave of absence, hoping she'd recover. In 1980, Mackenzie was fired from the show and went to rehab. She made a brief comeback in 1981, but relapsed by 1983, falling asleep during a rehearsal. When asked to take another drug test, she refused and left the show for good. Despite these struggles, Mackenzie has shown remarkable resilience. She eventually recovered and returned to acting, and she now dedicates her life to helping others as an addiction counselor. Number 21, Robert Downey Jr. What if the world's most beloved superhero had a past filled with turmoil? Long before he became Tony Stark in the Iron Man franchise, Robert Downey Jr. made his screen debut at the tender age of 5, playing a puppy in his father's film Pound. His early roles in Weird Science, Less Than Zero, and Chaplin showcased his immense talent and skyrocketed him to fame. However, behind the scenes, Downey Jr.'s life was spiraling out of control. Struggling with addiction, he faced numerous arrests and stints in rehab, leading to a hiatus from acting. His career seemed all but over, but, like the true hero he is, Robert fought his demons and made a triumphant return to Hollywood. Sober and determined, he transformed his life and career, landing the iconic role of Tony Stark in Iron Man. Today, he is one of the highest-grossing box office stars of all time and was named one of Times magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. Number 20, Lance Kerwin.
Amazing, you just love to listen to him, just to listen to how he spoke. I love that. But he was kind of...
Lance Kerwin had Hollywood success handed to him, but it came with a price. His acting career peaked in the late 1970s with the drama James at 15. With an acting coach for a father and a talent manager for a mother, Lance Kerwin almost had no choice but to go on screen. His talent, backed by the skills and professions of his parents, landed him the leading role in the late 1970s drama James at 15. His career went from strength to strength until he decided to give up acting in the 1990s. After tumbling down the infamous road of substance dependencies, Kerwin did his best to free himself from it and was even reported to be working in a program that helps people do the same. Sadly, he relapsed, which led to his unfortunate death in early 2023 at the age of 62 years old. Number 19, Maureen McCormick.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Marcia Brady was America's sweetheart, but Maureen McCormick's life was far from perfect. Behind her TV fame, McCormick faced personal battles. Marcia. Most people know Maureen McCormick best for her role as the oldest daughter of the Brady family, Marcia. By the time she became a household name in the Brady Bunch, McCormick had already appeared in other popular television series like My Three Sons and Bewitched, as well as several commercials. She then moved into stage acting, appearing in a variety of different roles before hitting a rough patch in life and dealing with addiction issues. In 2008, she released a tell-all memoir called Here's the Story, Surviving Marcia Brady and Finding My True Voice. She's also made appearances in several reality television series in recent years. Despite professional success on the Brady Bunch and its spin-offs, McCormick struggled in her personal life in the years following the original series' end. Addictions to cocaine and quaaludes, as well as bouts of depression and bulimia, all contributed to McCormick losing her reputation for a liability as an actress. McCormick's addiction was so powerful that she reportedly turned up to an audition of Steven Spielberg's Raiders of the Lost Ark, completely messed up, after being awake for several days on drugs. If there was coke, I had to stay up and do every last flake, even if it meant going without sleep for days, she wrote. Nothing else mattered. McCormick would go on to get sober and is now at peace. Number 18, Mark Lester.
Please, sir, I want some more.
In 1968, the stage musical Oliver burst.
Mark Lester was also made a star at a very young age, thanks to the musical film Oliver. He was quickly showered with other acting suggestions, including in European cinema, making him an international star. Lester had a tough time dealing with his success, though. At 18 years old, he became reckless with his money and descended into substance abuse. A year later, he decided to retire from acting. He trained in martial arts and became a certified osteopath. Most of Lester's acting credits are grouped in the 1970s, although he has a couple on-screen blinks in the late 2000s. Number 17, Alison Arngrim.
My home is the best house in all of Walnut Grove.
Alison Arngrim is an original mean girl.
Alison Arngrim's role as Nellie Oleson brought her fame, but her real-life story is much darker. She battled personal demons from a young age. Alison Arngrim's from The Little House on the Prairie doesn't have many good memories from her time on the show. Arngrim played the mean girl of the show, Nellie Oleson. The character has been ranked as one of the most hated characters in television history, and Arngrim has described playing her like having PMS for 7 years. In 2010, Arngrim authored an autobiography titled Confessions of a Prairie Bitch, How I Survived Nellie Oleson and Learned to Love Being Hated. In the book, she, for the first time, publicly identified her then-teenage brother as her childhood abuser, though the book is mostly lighthearted and received critical praise for her ability to mix humor and personal tragedy. Arngrim claimed that her brother sexually molested her from age 6 until 9, when he was aged from 13 to 16 years old. She also claimed that her brother admitted to the abuse, but isn't particularly apologetic for his behavior. Arngrim stated that she no longer has any kind of relationship with her brother, an act she believes has bettered her life. Number 16, Brooke Shields.
Hello, Allure. I'm Brooke Shields, and this is my 10-minute beauty routine.
Brooke Shields was a superstar at 12 years old, but her life wasn't as glamorous as it seemed. She faced controversies and personal battles. Want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing. If you have not heard of Brooke Shields before, this tagline from her Calvin Jeans ad had to grab your attention. Not that she has not had a previously noteworthy resume. She was born on May the 31st, 1965, in New York City, to Terry Schmann and Frank Shields. At age 12, she starred as a child prostitute in Pretty Baby, 1978. Could this movie even be made today? It was considered risque and controversial in 1978. It was followed by another blockbuster, the romance-adventure drama The Blue Lagoon in 1980. Brooke has proved herself to be so much more than her early films. Her broad range of work as an adult would be quite an achievement for anyone, especially given how difficult transitioning from a child actor to adult often is. In her personal life, she was married in 1997 to tennis player Andre Agassi and was devastated when they divorced 2 years later. She married for the second time in 2001 to Chris Henchy. She has been open about using fertility treatments to become pregnant with their daughter, Rowan, born in 2003. When suffering debilitating depression after the birth of her daughter, she made the decision to put her feelings down on paper. Her book, Down Came the Rain, My Journey Through Postpartum Depression, takes a hard, honest look at what she and many other women experience after childbirth. She still lives in New York City and is still sought after for work in movies, television, and on stage. Pretty nice list of achievements for the once Calvin Klein's jeans girl, right? Number 15, Danny Bonaduce.
It's just a really nice home. A beautiful view. You can't get a better view than this. It's just amazing.
Danny Bonaduce's life after the Partridge Family was far from smooth. He faced severe personal challenges and legal troubles. Danny Bonaduce, who played the lovable middle child of the Partridge Family, was a promising child star in the 1970s. His future roles included titles like Chips and Married with Children, The Drew Carey Show, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and a 2005 reality TV show called Breaking Bonaduce. By his own account, Bonaduce grew up in a dysfunctional family and suffered severe physical and emotional abuse at the hands of his father, TV writer and producer Joseph Bonaduce. Joseph and his mother Betty divorced in 1972. On March the 9th, 1990, he was arrested while attempting to buy cocaine in Daytona Beach, Florida. Bonaduce was there to host an event for DARE, an anti-drug campaign aimed at children. Bonaduce was eventually fired from WEGX. He later became the morning shift DJ at KKFR-FM in Phoenix, Arizona. On March the 31st, 1991, Bonaduce was arrested in Phoenix for beating and robbing Darius Barney, a transgender sex worker. Authorities said the victim suffered a broken nose and a cut to his face. Soon after, he was fired from KKFR, and in July of the same year, Bonaduce pleaded guilty to reduced charges. Amongst his punishments, he was required to pay Barney's medical bills. Later the same year, Bonaduce returned to WEGX in Philadelphia. In June 2023, Bonaduce announced that he would be undergoing hydrocephalus-related surgery after experiencing difficulty walking and maintaining his balance. Number 14, Leif Garrett. Leif Garrett went from teen idol to troubled star. His life has been a series of ups and downs, mostly overshadowed by legal issues. Garrett started making his way through the spotlight as a child actor. However, he didn't reach his teen idol status until he started making music in the late 1970s. After acting in a number of films as a child, Garrett transitioned into music. He released his first album in 1977, named it after himself, and it featured cover versions to hits from the previous 2 decades. His great popularity has seen highs and lows, normally as a result of legal troubles surrounding him. Garrett has been arrested multiple times throughout his career for drug possession. The 58-year-old also appeared on Season 4 of Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew, which was also his last on-screen appearance to date. Number 13, Scott Baio.
Happy Days, Scott Baio.
He's saying that the attacks coming his way on social media.
Scott Baio found fame with Happy Days, but faced accusations and controversies that tainted his career and personal life. An award-winning young star, you're likely to remember Baio from Happy Days. But he was also one of the title characters of the spin-off Joni Loves Chachi, as well as the lead character in Charles in Charge. He also had a key supporting role in Diagnosis Murder. Baio has also had plenty of movie credits, including Baby Talk, Perry Mason, The Case of Fatal Fashion, and The Very Mean Men. Baio's daughter Bailey has been diagnosed with a rare metabolic disorder and a meningioma brain tumor, the first of which prompted Baio to found the Bailey Baio Angel Foundation. In January 2018, Eggert, 46, accused her former Charles in Charge co-star Baio, 57, of molesting her beginning at the age of 14. In February, Baio was also accused by Alexander Polinsky, another one of his co-stars on the sitcom, of sexual harassment and abuse. Baio has admittedly denied the allegations. Number 12, Robbie Benson.
There was Robbie Benson, the actor, singer, director, and former teen idol, stole hearts.
Robbie Benson's early fame didn't protect him from health challenges. His story is one of perseverance and activism. Former teen idol Robbie Benson rose to fame in the 1970s, starring in the sports films 1 and 1 and Ice Castles. Later he appeared in the popular soap opera Search for Tomorrow, and also directed TV shows including 6 episodes of Friends. Although his face wasn't seen, Benson's voice is memorable to many as the character of Beast in Disney's classic 1991 animated film Beauty and the Beast. The multi-talented star has also published 2 books, and as someone who has undergone 4 open-heart surgeries due to congenital aortic valve defects, Benson is also an activist in the field of heart research. Number 11, Jodie Foster.
It's an incredibly emotional moment. For me,
Jodie Foster's talent was undeniable, but she faced a terrifying experience with an obsessed fan. Her resilience is inspiring. Jodie Foster started her career at age of 2. For 4 years she made commercials and finally made her debut as an actress in the TV series Mayberry, RFD, in 1968. In 1975, Jodie was offered the role of prostitute, Ira Stensma, in the movie Taxi Driver in 1976. This role, for which she received an Academy Award nomination in the Best Supporting Actress category, marked a breakthrough in her career. One tragic moment in her life was March 30th, 1981, when John Warnock Hinckley Jr. attempted to assassinate the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. Hinckley was obsessed with Jodie and the movie Taxi Driver, 1976, in which Travis Bickle, played by Robert De Niro, tried to shoot presidential candidate Palantine. Despite the fact that Jodie never took acting lessons, she received 2 Oscars before she was 30 years of age. She received her first award for her part as Sarah Tobias in The Accused in 1988, and the second one for her performance as Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs in 1991. Number 10, Dana Hill.
This must be where they sacrifice virgins. God, I miss Jack.
Dana Hill's acting career was cut short by health complications. Her struggle with diabetes was a lifelong battle. She was known for playing Audrey Griswold in National Lampoon's European Vacation, and also known for her roles in Shoot the Moon and Cross Creek. As a voice actress, she was known for her works as Mac Goof in Goof Troop. Hill had diabetes that affected her physical growth, which meant that she often played children into adolescence and beyond. Her breakthrough role was in the 1981 television film Fallen Angel. The 17-year-old Hill played 12-year-old molestation victim Jennifer Phillips, a role that earned her a Young Artist Award for Best Young Actress in a Television Special. At age 10, Hill had placed 3rd nationwide in the 880-yard run and 4th in the mile run. A few weeks later, she collapsed on the track, resulting in a diagnosis of type 1 diabetes and the end of her athletic career. The diabetes affected her growth and caused lifelong health complications. Hill slipped into a diabetic coma in May of 1996 and suffered a massive paralytic stroke the following month. On July 15, 1996, Hill died at age 32 years old. Number 9, Corey Feldman.
Sit down, they put you on the ground, they leave you lying there, they're broken down and make a sound.
Corey Feldman's early start in Hollywood led to both fame and dark times. His friendship with Michael Jackson is a well-known part of history. Feldman is famous for his roles in the 80s, but he actually got a start in the 1970s. His first role was at the age of 3 in a McDonald's commercial and had a role in the 1979 film Time After Time. He and Corey Haim became good friends and both struggled with addictions. Corey also had a close friendship with Michael Jackson. In 2016, Corey appeared on The Today Show to promote his album, Angelic to the Core, though the performance was widely mocked as bizarre and strange. A few people, on the other hand, enjoyed the nonconformist outlook. Feldman performed a new single called Go For It on The Today Show, performing it with a band made up of women whom, in the music video, had also lived with a la Hugh Hefner. The mocking came hard and fast, with many saying the performance, particularly Feldman's dance moves, were too strange to enjoy. Number 8, Christy McNichol.
Sheila! It's Christy. Hey, I heard you have a case of insomnia.
Christy McNichol was an Emmy-winning star who faced severe depression. Her struggle with mental health issues led to an early retirement. While she made her start in commercials at a young age, McNichol appeared as a guest star on Starsky and Hutch, The Bionic Woman, Love American Style, and The Love Boat. She had a starring role as Patricia Apple in the show Apple's Way, and has earned 2 Emmys for Best Supporting Actress for her work in The Family. By 1984, exhaustion was already taking a toll on the talented actress. She traveled to Paris to work on a project by Edouard Molinaro. During this period, Christy dropped weight due to depression and discomfort. Christy went home for the Christmas break, but refused to return even though the movie was to be completed in a year. She underwent psychological therapy, and it was here that the talented actress was diagnosed with physical and emotional exhaustion and severe depression. Number 7, Mike Lookinland.
I did The Towering Inferno, and that was a huge epic. The script's 250 pages or something.
Mike Lookinland, the youngest Brady, struggled with substance abuse after the show. His journey to sobriety is inspiring. It's another Brady, this time the youngest son, Mike Lookinland, who played Bobby Brady on the show, was a TV commercial actor before snagging the part he's most famous for. After the Brady Bunch ended, he appeared in several Brady specials as well as the show The Secrets of Isis and the film The Towering Inferno. Mike Lookinland, who played the youngest Brady, brother Bobby, fell into a similar trap as many child stars who came before him. Following his run on the Brady Bunch, the actor became embroiled in a life of drugs and alcohol in his 20s as he tried to live out the childhood he never had. He managed to kick the habit, though, when he married his college sweetheart. He studied film at the University of Utah and found a niche career he deeply enjoyed. He makes custom concrete countertops. Number 6, Christopher Knight.
I'm Christopher Knight, and I would like to introduce you to my new brand of home furnishings. With the help of several talented designers and some...
Christopher Knight, Peter Brady, turned to business after acting. His journey included reality TV and a successful tech career. Knight is best known for his role as Peter, the middle son on the Brady Bunch. He also appeared in a 1979 movie called Just You and Me, Kid, and in other 1970s sitcoms like Happy Days and One Day at a Time and Chips. According to a 1992 interview with People, the star was worried about finding work through much of the 1980s, so he turned to cocaine and pot. Knight eventually did settle down, though, at least temporarily. The self-proclaimed geek has had a second career as a businessman in the computer industry, even co-founding a 3D graphics company, in addition to several other tech-related endeavors. He also made a return to television, most notably in VH1's reality show The Surreal Life, where he met his future wife, Adrienne Curry. The two later divorced, and he married his fourth wife, Kara Kokens, in 2016. Number 5, Mindy Cohn.
Please welcome Mindy Cohn!
Mindy Cohn, beloved for her role on Facts of Life, faced a battle with breast cancer. Her strength and advocacy are commendable. Cohn is best known for her portrayal of Natalie, the strong-willed student from the television series Facts of Life, which ran from 1979 to 1988. Her role was essential to the show's success, bringing her humor and levity to any scene she was in. But the role ended up typecasting her, making it difficult for Cohn to branch out. Mindy Cohn is a breast cancer survivor, having been diagnosed with it in 2012 and was declared cancer-free in 2017. Cohn is a strong supporter of the LGBTQ community and has stated that she is proud to be a fag. Number 4, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's troubled childhood led to a complex and controversial life. His fame couldn't shield him from personal struggles. Joe Jackson was famous for his tough relationship with his family, and none more so than Michael. He conceded to beating his children in an interview with Oprah and constantly made his children rehearse, especially in the early days of the Jackson 5. The boys of the Jackson 5 lost their childhood. It's been thought this led to Michael Jackson's Peter Pan fascination, naming his home Neverland and embracing the idea of never growing up. Others also assume that Michael's weird actions later in life resulted from the poor treatment he received from his father. Jackson revealed accusations of inappropriate actions toward children in 1993, at which he entered rehab for dependency on prescription medication. One possible cause of this dependency was a severe scalp burn Jackson received while filming a Pepsi commercial. More drug danger ahead, ex-wife, the late Lisa Marie Presley, has said that addiction and drug use was a big part of their lifestyle while they were together. When Michael passed, it was revealed that he regularly used strong anesthetics to get to sleep. Other people connected to Michael have backed up the stories. Number 3, Jack Wilde.
Wilt thou have this woman to thy wedded wife and live together after God's ordinance in the... William? I will.
Jack Wilde's early success came with a heavy price. Addiction took its toll on his promising career. Jack Wilde made his acting debut as Dodger in the musical Oliver in England in 1968 and went into the 1970s as a full-fledged star. He was 16 years old at the time and was already nominated for an Oscar for that role. His stature in the industry at the time sent him to the U.S. for a role in the kids' show H.R. Pufnstuf, a role which paid him $1 million. Success took its toll on Wilde. He smoked and drank regularly. At 24 years old, the problem became so severe he could no longer act. After an extensive rehab process, he regained enough strength for a short on-screen performance. He passed away in 2006 after battling aggressive cancer. Number 2, Charlie Sheen.
I think I just started partying too hard. I started having way too much fun.
Seriously?
And it spilled over onto the set a little bit. I mean, I wasn't partying on the set.
Charlie Sheen's wild antics made headlines, but his personal battles were even more intense. His story is one of excess and consequence. You certainly know about Sheen, but he got his start in the 1973 film by Terrence Malick, Badlands, which starred his famous father, Martin Sheen. Charlie is well known for outlandish public behavior, causing him to be dropped from his long-running sitcom, 2.5 Men. His rants include facts such as he had Adonis DNA. He also revealed he is HIV positive. Charlie made no secret of his freewheeling exploits, frequently cavorting with porn stars, so his diagnoses came as no surprise to him. But does the man truly have tiger blood in his veins? At one point, Charlie Sheen did have tiger blood in his veins, Adonis DNA in his genetics, and spent quite a lot of time around his goddesses. At the same time, Sheen was, according to him, having a mental breakdown. He has publicly dealt with a number of divorces, has had multiple children, and was going through a feud with the creator of 2.5 Men, Chuck Lorre, as well as his co-star John Cryer. Charlie would reappear on another show, Anger Management, and as Charlie said, "I don't know what happened. I think I cracked." Sheen announced he was HIV positive in 2015, but the world wasn't taken totally by surprise since rumors had been swirling that a big A-list celebrity was about to announce a diagnosis. It turned out to be Sheen, who made the announcement with Matt Lauer on The Today Show. Charlie Sheen has become very outspoken in his support of HIV activism. Thanks to various experimental medication, the illness is now virtually undetectable in Sheen, mainly because of a virus-suppressing injection called PRO-140. Hopefully Sheen will use his star power to continue raising funds for HIV and AIDS research. Number 1, Tatum O'Neal.
I just take it a day at a time, and I try not to go to the past, and try not to go to...
Tatum O'Neal's childhood was filled with abuse and neglect. Her early success masked a life of deep personal struggles. Tatum Beatrice O'Neal is an American actress and author. She is the youngest person ever to win a competitive Academy Award, winning at age 10 for her performance as Addie Loggins in Paper Moon, 1973, opposite her father, Ryan O'Neal. The daughter of Ryan and actor Joanne Moore, O'Neal endured a childhood full of parental neglect and outright abuse. Tatum O'Neal's childhood was made even more hellish by sexual abuse. When speaking with Dateline NBC about A Paper Life in 2004, O'Neal confirmed that her mother, Joanne Moore, often left her alone with strangers who preyed upon her as a child. Tatum O'Neal and ex-husband John McEnroe share 3 children together, Kevin, Sean, and Emily. Unfortunately, the kids were affected by their parents' constant arguments and O'Neal's drug addiction. The actor lost custody for several years beginning in 1998 when her then 7-year-old daughter found heroin paraphernalia in her mother's apartment via Dateline NBC. Despite the trauma and heartache, O'Neal eventually gained partial custody and spent the next several years rebuilding her bond with all 3 children. In 2008, the New York Daily News broke the story that Tatum O'Neal had been arrested only a few blocks from her Manhattan home. The former child star claimed that she was doing research for her part, but police reportedly found crack and cocaine in her pocket. Sadly, life threw Tatum O'Neal another curveball when she turned 50 years old. When the actor later reached out to the Arthritis Foundation in 2016, she revealed that she had been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, an autoimmune disease that had caused excruciating pain in her back, knees, hands, and ankles. As the actor admitted to the organization, it's been a tough road. Tatum O'Neal's first suicide attempt occurred when she was only 12 years old. In October 2020, anonymous law enforcement sources claimed to TMZ that O'Neal had allegedly threatened to take her own life. Thanks for joining us on this amazing journey through the tragic stories of 1970s child stars. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Check out our other videos for more captivating Hollywood stories. See you next time.